Hey everybody, welcome to Bura. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about Udemy's new change of coupon system and what that means for you as the Udemy investor. Alright, welcome back for this video. Make sure you like, subscribe. The more subscribers you get, the more content we make. The number reason why you subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel is to get into the money-making trends before they go mainstream. Alright, so let's take a look at Udemy's upcoming free coupon creation here. Now, let me be clear, one of the things that I make this video is that I do care that Udemy does be successful, and as an investor, if you want to be successful, if you're thinking about investing, you should definitely like and subscribe this video because there's a lot of information that I'm going to be doing within a lot of different videos here. And I've been on the platform for 10 years. I'm going to be talking about every single thing Udemy related and what this means from a ground level. And if you don't already know, my company Mammoth Interactive has made millions of dollars and has sold over 1 million courses worldwide. So I'm in a very good position to talk about this stuff. And I'm going to be talking about the history of Udemy, all that stuff. So let's dive into it here. So first of all, if you don't know, Udemy has a marketplace and it also has Udemy for Business. In addition to that, it has a personal kind of subscription, kind of like Skillshare here, okay? So, and in that marketplace setting, you can, instructors can give away courses for free. Now, this is what it currently is set at. Now, this changed from a previous, it changed from something previous, which I'm going to be talking about. But basically, you have a 3-day unlimited where you can get maximum 40,000 redemption. Now, I actually didn't know it was 40,000. It was, when I thought it was unlimited, it was like literally unlimited. But the coupon expires after 3 days. And I don't like this particular system here. And then it has a 30-day limited where you get 10, if you need to give it to the press or something. But again, nobody's asking for coupons to review these courses from the press. What has happened is that, what used to happen is that a lot of affiliates would put their links on different sites. And Udemy has kind of nerfed all of the affiliates here. And I don't know if that has had an effect on traffic or not, or conversions. They probably had a good reason to do it. But nevertheless, people used to post a lot more coupons. And it was, I think, a good thing. And I'll be talking about that later. But, for the most part, this is what it currently is. And here's what they're changing it to. Now, I don't think this is a good idea, okay? And the reason why I don't think it's a good idea, let's talk about it first, and I'm going to tell you why it's not a good idea. And it kind of goes into the general theme of what Udemy is trying to do. And just to be clear, I'd still probably invest in Udemy because it is a very good platform. It's just, I'd rather have an investment really perform versus just kind of underperform. So what I'm saying is that Udemy is still a good investment, but all the suggestions that I'm making in these videos will help Udemy perform way better, specifically to investors, okay? That's, again, the whole reason why I'm doing that, and I'm not targeting anyone at the company who's making these decisions. But this is not very good. So first of all, it had an open type, and the max redemption is 1,000, and it expires after 5 days, okay? And then we have a targeted where it's like 100 after 31 days. And then what they're trying to do here is they're trying to get people to engage with the product more, because a lot of the people that go into these free never use it here. Now, this is not very good for newcomers, okay? Because one of the things that really helps you sell a course on the marketplace is number of views and number of students, right? And a lot of the people who are in the top position use these coupons to gain a lot of students. So if you're a newcomer, there's almost no point to starting on Udemy, right? So Udemy has a bunch of instructors which they really coddle to, and to a certain extent, I'm one of those instructors too, so I'm quite thankful. But what they do is they have a bunch of instructors that they coddle a lot, and and it's fine because they pay them quite a bit of money, more than what they would probably make in industry, except for some coders. But that's a different story. But for the most part, it's a fairly cushy position if you can actually get into the UFB, and now this personal plan, etc. So the thing is that if you're starting new, and you're really good at e-learning, right? You would not open an account. You wouldn't even go onto Udemy with this, because there's no way that you can get the traction that the previous people had. So you're going to set up a Teachable school, a Thinkific school, and then one of these days a Udemy competitor is actually going to happen, and then they will do well, pretty much everything I'm saying, because it just makes a lot more sense to do everything the way that I'm saying it to do. But they'll do everything I'm saying, and then Udemy will have a real problem on its hands. And again, I don't think the stock price will go up that much, because it just won't. Now, the reason why they're doing this is they want to push people onto the personal plans. So they have all of these curated courses in Udemy for Business, or UFB. And what they're going to do is they're going to move that over to the personal plan to make it like a Skillshare or Netflix or something like that. Now, from a business point of view, I 100% get that idea. I get that they want to sell subscriptions because the evaluation is going to be more. However, it does, the people who buy subscriptions and the people who buy courses a la carte or just a lifetime access are two completely different markets. Now, what they're doing here is they're trying to force people to go onto that subscription platform. And I can tell you, it is monumentally harder to do that. Now, you have to understand that other people are going to sell a la carte courses elsewhere on their own site, on Teachable, Thinkific, or if they're already an established e-learning company, they're going to do that, right? So the marketplace is going to get eaten, and the top instructors, they could, you can sort of run a business that way, where you get a bunch of people, and pay them a bunch of money to make the courses for them. But eventually that is going to come to an end, because when you make a course, it is so much better and easier and way less frustrating if you have a team. And most, if not all, of the top instructors are just instructors with like a video editor, etc. I can tell you that it is so incredibly difficult to do that year after year after year, and people get burnt out. In fact, so when in 2014 or whatever, when Swift and the iOS courses were really big, I used to basically record two hours a day. And I can tell you, not only did my voice get hoarse, it was so difficult to do. And, because I have like a work ethic and, this is kind of my thing, I can continue to go on. But you know what? A lot of people won't do that. They'll say, this is not worth it, and I'm just going to go get a job. And lots of people have left the platform. And I see this time and again, year after year. People are like, I'm done with this. You do get burnt out from e-learning very quickly. You have to deal with the production, which is very difficult to do, right? And it gets more difficult day after day because other companies are putting more money into production. You can't do that all by yourself. You have to have a team of people, right? And so you have a team of people, right? And then you have to deal with like the insecurity of money, because it's all over the map. And then you have to deal with all the customers' reviews, which can be I have a thick skin, but like most people can't deal with the internet, to be frank here. So most people can't deal with the reviews, and then there's the support too. And oftentimes you have to hire a support person. So like the money that you're getting, you have to hire someone, or I guess you could get someone to do it for free, but like support is coming up here. Now Udemy has announced that they're trying to add support, so which I'll talk about in another video. But for the most part, So for the most part, any new person is going to do things their way. And by the way, because of Udemy's pricing system, which I'm going to do a series of videos on the history of the pricing system, revenue share, all that stuff. So again, please be sure to like and subscribe. But basically, what the pricing system almost forces newcomers to do is they're almost at a disadvantage immediately, right? So all this does is it stagnates the up and coming people that would normally go into Udemy, but they would go do it on their own site. And the marketplace has changed so much. Well, not the marketplace, but the whole ecosystem, the e-learning ecosystem has changed, that a newcomer can charge maybe $50 or $100 for a course that's not on Udemy, because Udemy has like a big history to it. And so, for me personally, I think the $10 to $20, maybe $30 for a course is a really good price point. I don't really pay much for that unless I really want the course, if I'm trying to take a course. But what they're trying to do here is they're trying to push people to that subscription. And again, that will basically will stagnate at some point. And frankly, other people are going to eat their lunch. That's what's going to happen. Now, one of the things that I will talk about again and again and again is that the marketplace and Udemy was working way better in 2015. In 2015, the atmosphere around instructors in Udemy was probably at an all-time high, and then it's kind of gone down since then, right? If we would talk about the creator versus the platform, I guess if we're going to talk about the creator versus the platform sentiment, 2015 was at an all-time high, and I really think everything should revert back to that. And not exactly, because it's a different time, because that was quite a long time ago. But like, it's a different time, and they could do that. They could revert things. So let's take a look at my custom-made spreadsheet as to what things should be. So the first thing is the current 40,003 days. This is what's proposed, or I guess what's going to happen. But here's what it should be, okay? And there's a lot of reasons why it should be like this, okay? So first, what it should be, you have the unlimited, and guess what? The maximum redemptions are indeed unlimited. The expiration, never. This is the way it used to be, and it is so much better than both of these two systems, okay? And I'm gonna explain why in just a second, but you can also have a press here where it could be, the max redemptions could be user set, or never, or user set. Now, these seem like the same thing, and for the most part, I guess they are, because like if you go into Teachable or Thinkific, you just have all the freedom you want. And that's kind of a major theme with Udemy, is that they're really, really controlling. And I understand, like I completely understand why they would do that when they are, I would understand why they do that when they are a private company. They are extremely controlling, and they want to make sure their investors are getting their money back. But now that they're IPOing, there's free market logic attached to everything that they're doing. And they're basically, if they make a bad decision, there will be people that eat their lunch, right? And so that's why I'm making these videos. I don't want Udemy to, be something of the past, right? I've been here since almost 10 years now, coming up to 10 years very, very soon. And basically, so this is what it should be. It's what it was in 2015. And here's the reason why. If I'm a newcomer, I have absolutely zero kind of, quote, social mobility, right? Like if I'm really good at this, and I'm really good at e-learning, and I'm a programmer, because that's where most of the people make their money, if this doesn't happen, I will not even make a course on you. I will either make a course and put it on a different platform, which is not good for Udemy. Like my course won't even go onto Udemy. Or two, I won't even make courses at all, which is a real problem, because obviously the more people you make courses, the better the ecosystem is. If I want to make an app or a game, I can go into Upwork and just, make it, right? But I can't do that with Udemy. It's very difficult to find people to make these courses, and that's a real problem in the e-learning industry. I can't tell you how much of a problem that is, okay? So, and lastly, if I'm a programmer, I could just go work for Duolingo, right? I could go work for Duolingo or any other place other than making courses. And that's such a huge problem, and it's not talked about. And I'm so glad that Udemy is going to IPO, because, I get to talk about these things. I've been wanting to talk about these things, well, basically for the last 7 years. Basically, I've been talking about this again and again and again, and it usually is put like, there's the people at Udemy that want to do things their way, and then there's people on the ground that see things and basically say that things should be done a different way. Now, going back to 2015, I remember told you that the sentiment between Udemy and the instructors or the creators was at an all-time high. And I should also tell you, at that time, there was a massive sense of optimism. Just talking to the Udemy employees, other instructors, Udemy was going to go to the moon, and then they killed it with a price change. And I'm going to be talking, that deserves its whole other video, right? I'm going to be talking about that in depth. But basically, they killed it. And they killed it with, I want to say stupidity, but I'll talk about that in another video. But it wasn't really a good move. It was probably the worst move in the company's history. And they killed the entire buzz, right? A good analogy would be like if there's a party going on and then the cops shut it down, right? Or something like that. It's like everyone's having fun and then someone just like pulls the plug on the music. Everyone goes home. And that's what it was like in 2015. And I really want to go back to that. I really want to go back to the instructor optimism. And nowadays, it's never reached that high again. If anything, I don't want to say it's at an all-time low because there's lots of things that they've done where they've basically stopped the interaction between instructors, which is a whole other video about the e-learning industry that I make. Like nobody talks to each other, and that's a big problem. It's a big problem for everything. And so one thing I'm trying to do is make the e-learning industry more like the app industry or the game industry. Okay. And if you just think, because I'm talking to the investors here, right? You're an investor, you have $1 million. Would you A, put that into an app? You could. Could you B, put that into a game? You could. Could you put it into an online course or e-learning company? No, you can't do that. And, it's things like this that if, what it should be, that allows the investor, you, to not do that, right? If I can't make a lot of money, then, well, then, like, what's the point? Now, what I will say is that people will go to the least amount of friction to get the most amount of money, right? And one thing that Udemy has relied on again and again and again is like the teacher sentiment. And the teacher sentiment is, you do this for the good. Like you kind of sacrifice yourself for the good of the students. And I think that's terrible. And specifically for all the people that are making tech courses, again, why would I do that when I can go to another company and have a potentially cushier job and not deal with all the stuff in the e-learning industry or make courses, right? And that's the dilemma we have. And there's so many things that need to be changed, but we should revert things back to the way, Udemy should revert things back to the way they were in 2015. And if it doesn't do that, then I expect a cap to be put on Udemy's growth. And meaning your investment will be limited. I still think it will do well. I don't know what the stock will do because, well, let's be real here. I mean, evaluations is, wow. I mean, who knows what's going on anymore with the stock market and valuations and whatnot. So I have no idea what it's going to do. But fundamentally, Udemy is a place that gets people from e-learning into one spot. And really, they should maximize that. And what that is not is selling a global subscription to them. That's right. It's just not because it's very difficult to do that. And I understand that if you can do that, then it is really good. Like I understand, like they want to be like, like a brilliant. I mean, not brilliant because they haven't had that much money, but like like a Netflix or something like that. And the way that they're doing things is not the best and easiest path to success, right? I just don't think it is. There's a lot of things that they could be doing that's a lot better. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over a lot of the things that they're doing. And if something new comes out, I'm going to be making a video about it. Again, talking to the investors here, there's one last thing before I move on here. Now, okay, so one of the reasons why people go onto Teachable and Thinkific is they have the ability to create bulk coupons. And I don't think this is the bulk coupon that they're saying here. So if let's say I sell 100 courses to a company for 100 users, on Teachable and Thinkific, I can go and create 100 different like custom links. Okay, and Udemy has that in the back end because Udemy used to be on Groupon and all these deal sites way back in the day, and they've just never released that to the public. Why? I don't know. It's one of the things you can't do is charge. You can't sell your courses, online or whatever, and then bring them to Udemy as free. And I kind of get that. And again, that's the thing of the past. But it would be good to have that functionality. But this is what I think they're doing is they say, you know, you can make all the courses that you have at like, you know, at the maximum discount here, right? And again, I'll be making another video about the maximum discount. But the thing is that there's been a bunch of moves, and you know, at the time it makes sense why they did that, because like, you know, different companies would start up and they have to compete with that. But you know, once you look back maybe 5 or 10, you know, well, 5 years, 5 years, the landscape has changed. You have to plan ahead. So that's basically what we do here. Then last thing is Black Friday. So one of the things that every instructor is doing is looking forward to is Black Friday. And you know what? That I'll make a whole other video about that, because this video is already getting kind of long, right? So I'll talk about Black Friday in another video, all right? So again, thanks for watching this. If you're a Udemy investor, I have my contact link down below, and we can talk about if you want to talk about your Udemy investment or anything, I can give you a consultation on that as well. The links are down below. And if you are a consumer, well, you can buy my products and our training products down below. We don't do a Patreon, we just sell our courses. All right. So that concludes this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.